Hey, it's Leslie with Cruising with the Royal Fam, and I'm here to answer your question today. Do I need to go on an excursion on my cruise? And the answer is no. I know excursions can be pricey and a lot of people just don't want to participate, and I get that. But with that being said, my husband and I decided a while ago, being experienced cruisers and doing it both ways, that we will definitely do an excursion at most of our ports, and we will do the excursion through Royal Caribbean. The first reason is, more often than not, when we don't have an excursion and we don't have a plan, we end up wasting our time. We end up putzing around and just doing some light shopping, which is fun. Sometimes that's what we want to do, but it's such a beautiful place and the place has so much to offer, you might as well do something while you're there. For example, we've only been to St. Thomas one time. The water was so gorgeous and so blue, and everything was just picturesque, and we ended up just taking a little trolley into the city and having lunch. We had like chicken wings and fries, something we could have at home, and I felt like we totally wasted the day. It was so beautiful. I wish we had have just done something exotic. Being in some of these ports, it's kind of like being in a big city and you're not sure exactly which places are safe to go and where it's not safe to go. So sometimes you just kind of stick close to the port and hope for the best. Now, as soon as you get off the ship and you get into port, there's probably gonna be 100 people and they're gonna have cards and they're gonna wanna be taking you places and transporting you to different excursions. And although this sounds like a good idea because it might be cheaper, keep in mind that the rules and regulations in other countries are not the same as the United States. So Jason and I have found ourselves in a couple of uncomfortable situations regarding these type of excursions. On my first cruise, my family and I went to Freeport, Bahamas, and we got into a van taxi with somebody, and quickly after we got in there, we realized that it wasn't the safest place to be driving in the first place. And this guy was just driving like a maniac. He was speeding, he wasn't yielding to anyone, and he claimed that the reason that he wasn't doing any of that was because he had tourists in the car and he automatically had right away, and we all knew that it was just so unsafe. Also, on our honeymoon, Jason and I didn't have any excursions planned, and we took a water taxi to the beach, and there was somebody holding a sign that said water taxi, $10 person or whatever, no refunds. So we went ahead and gave them the $10, and they took us down to the end of the dock to this terrible looking old rink-a-dink boat, and we got on and we just didn't feel safe in the first place. And that wasn't the worst part. They proceeded to load about 100 other people after us onto this boat. We were elbow to elbow in this old boat. And you know, we live to tell about it, but I would rather not experience anything like that, especially now that I have to. When we book through Royal Caribbean, since they're selling it, they're aware of what kind of experience you're gonna have on this excursion, what kind of traveling you're gonna do, the state of the vehicle, the people you're gonna be around. They're aware of all of that, and they're not gonna put their name on it unless they know that you're gonna be in a good situation. My mom even lost her credit card on one of our excursions in the Dominican Republic, and she was kind of freaking out, but that credit card was back on the ship before we got there. She had a message in her cabin to come down to customer service that somebody from one of the excursion places had already gotten her credit card back to the ship. We also feel more confident traveling around another country knowing that Royal Caribbean is actually able to keep tabs on us while we're out and about. They know who we're with, where we're at, and if God forbid something happens and we're late, at least they know. And most likely if you're on one of their excursions, they're gonna know and not leave anybody. Because let's get real, I know that I've heard stories, and I'm sure you guys have heard stories about people maybe having too much to drink in another country and not making it back to the ship on time. And the ship can only wait so long, holding thousands of people ready to move on for 1 or 2 or 5 people. Believe me, I know some of these excursions can get super expensive, and there are some economical ones as well. A lot of the beach stays and stuff are more affordable. But what we like to do is we like to book our vacation about a year ahead of time and kind of log in there periodically and add something here or there and pay as we go. And by the time you get to the ship, you really won't have a whole lot of expenses if you do everything that way. I also have a small business, and I use a Royal Caribbean Visa card, and I rack up the points, and over the course of the year, I'm able to log in, see how many points I have, and put that toward the next thing that we're hoping for on our vacation. So I think we'll stick to doing excursions or just sticking right next to the port and doing shopping. But whenever we can, we're gonna try to have a new experience in a new country and do an excursion. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day.